Welcome to Buggy construction video number 4. Okay, so this is construction video number 4. There's a lot of change on the Buggy now from the last video. As you can see there, we've got front headlamps, the top lamp bracket bar there is in place, spare wheel carrier. At the rear here we've got a lot of work around the engine bay, new air box and air feed there as well. As you can see, air filter on the top. Full dashboard now built and constructed, and a new centre section housing the handbrake and gear change mechanism. So a lot of change. I'm going to go through the new components stage by stage, and also show you how they've been put together. Okay, so the first of the new sections is the headlamp mounting bracket. That also holds the indicator. It's an odd shape because it needs to be the headlamp needs to be no more than 400mm from the outside edge of the vehicle, down to the IVA regulations. This is how it's put together. It's a 3mm plate. The components here are all cut out and drilled out, standard hole saws used, and the next shot is of the unit together, tacked together prior to seam welding and final prep. Okay, so here's the new dashboard. You can see the warning indicators there above the steering wheel. This is the new gauge set that's been specially built for the Buggy. We've got a rev gauge there that supports a 3-cylinder engine, obviously to support the Suzuki Swift engine we've got in the rear. This is the interior of the dashboard module itself. There's the ECU and the extended cabling to bring the ECU forward, and there's the cabling harness from the steering column switchgear. This is another view of the steering column switchgear. We've only got one column stalk now, obviously for lights and indicators and the hazard warning lamp. Here we have the cutouts for the construction of the dashboard. Again, standard 2mm plate and several sections of tube cut along its length to create the curves for both the top and the bottom. Curves specific there so that they are the right radius to pass regulations. You should just be able to make out the corner of the dashboard module there that's been ground down and finished. It's been seam welded. This is the finished unit, fully tacked together, ready for final seam welding and prep. Okay, so this is a closer view of the engine bay. You can see the induction pipe there and the new air filter. And as we move the camera around, we'll be able to see a bit more work on the cooling system. We've got the expansion bottle there, got a little aluminium expansion bowl and the secondary filler neck for the radiator. Here we can see the master power connector, the manifold heat shield, the new airbox, the connection to the airbox from the bottom of the induction pipe, and all the blue covering there for all the cabling on the wiring loom for the engine bay, and the new ignition leads in place. Here we've removed the radiator and cooling system so we can get a better view of the engine. Still needs obviously a clean up. And another view of the airbox. Here's a better view of the engine bay. Very close up there, that's the bracket holding the ignition coil and components, and the wiring loom there wrapped with its blue conduit and blue silicone to seal it all. Ignition leads and a better shot of the manifold heat shield, and here's the heat shield after it was finished. Standard 4mm aluminium plate construction. Now I've removed the passenger seat so we can get a better view of the Pro Alloy fuel tank that I've had built for the Buggy. It's a 5-gallon tank, and a good shot of the new centre section housing the handbrake mechanism and the gear change assembly. This is how that centre section was put together. 3mm plate, again tubing cut along its length to give me the corners, the curves I wanted to say at the top. Here it is tacked together, most of it tacked together at least. And here we have the finished centre section assembly, complete with MR2 gear change mounting bracket on the top as well. Nice view of the Pro Ally fuel tank there and the centre section, and you can see the blue cable conduit running through the centre section. That's the ECU cables extended. And here is the lamp bracket or bar. It's not quite finished yet, still a bit of work to do, and the spare wheel carrier there as well. And you can't see much of it because the wheel's on it. I'll remove the wheel in a minute and you can see what the actual bracket assembly looks like. Here it is with the spare wheel removed. 3mm plate construction as normal. And you can see a little bit more detail with the spare wheel carrier there. And that's about it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll put another video up as soon as possible. Thanks again.